Dear family, friends, and colleagues, this is episode 48, part 3C, how to use the EIAG or the EIAG process to start, develop, and strengthen a professional relationship between a mentor and a mentee. Now, let's first define what we mean by a mentor and mentee and say that we mean by a mentor as a person who has expertise, such as a trainer, a supervisor, or an expert who is tasked to teach or train a mentee. The mentee is a novice, a beginner, or a learner, learning to become knowledgeable and proficient in an area of skilled or professional practice. Now, let's begin to talk about how to use the EIAG reflection process in helping a mentor supervise a mentee. But in order to do this, let's look at some assumptions, okay? And the assumptions are that the mentor and the mentee have completed an earlier exercise we shared in our video broadcast called the Get-Acquainted for the mentor and mentee activity. And we also have discussed and completed the expectations negotiation process. This was another or previous episode in our series. Now, both participants, the mentor and mentee, should now know what to expect from each other. Now, what I would like you to do is to imagine that the mentor and the mentee have agreed upon a time to reflect upon some event or experience, the E, that had just occurred in the workplace, and let's call that workplace the classroom of the mentor. Again, please understand this is just an example of any mentor-mentee relationship. It could be the workplace, or it could be on a practice field or a game a practice situation. Let's further imagine that the mentee and the mentor agree to discuss a particular event that had just taken place in the mentor's classroom. What is that event? What is that E? The event or the experience. The mentee and the mentor both agree to focus on a particular event or experience that had just occurred in the classroom. And in this case, the event is a classroom discussion the mentee facilitated on the recent presidential debate between President Joe Biden and former President Donald J. Trump. So remember, the EIAG stands for E, I, A, and G, and we'll go over all of this. Remember, this particular item here will be on a handout that you can get, and I'll discuss that later in the video broadcast. So the E, or the event or experience, the mentor and the mentee agree to the E, to agree to discuss the classroom discussion facilitated by the mentee on the recent presidential debate between President Joe Biden and former President Donald J. Trump. So that's the E, the debate. The I is that they identify what happened. They can record or talk about, explain what they saw, what they heard, and what they did at the time of the event, the E. Whereas the mentee saw and heard the students in the classroom responding favorably to her discussion prompts, the mentor agreed that he or she saw and heard the students respond positively to the mentee's prompts. But the mentor also noticed that the mentee never used something called the quiet signal, which is a process where you let the class know before a classroom discussion begins that when I raise my hand in a certain way, everyone must pay attention because that determines how the discussion shall flow. And the second item is the mentor would have preferred that the mentee use the numbers procedure so that each person in the classroom who wants to speak is given a number, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So these strategies, the quiet signal and the numbers procedure, were things that the mentor would have wanted the mentee to use when facilitating the classroom discussion. Okay. Step 3 is analyze. They would either record or they would talk and explain what they were thinking and feeling at the time that the E occurred, the classroom discussion. The mentee indicates, the mentee was thinking that the lesson went very well. She was pleased with how she facilitated the classroom discussion. The mentor agreed that the lesson went well, but also added that he was thinking that the lesson would or could have been better if the mentor had remembered to use the quiet signal and the numbers procedures. This is the feedback the mentor is giving the mentee. They then would record, or they would simply state what they think others were thinking and feeling when the event had occurred. And both the mentee and the mentor thought that the students in the classroom enjoyed a lively and informative classroom discussion. Then comes the G, which stands for generalize. They would either record on a piece of paper, or preferably in a conversation, they would discuss what this event or experience told them about themselves as a person or as a teacher. The mentee and the mentor realize the mentee has much to learn about diverse ways of facilitating a classroom discussion. Remember, this is what each of them generalized. They would record or state what this event or experience told them about themselves and others who are affected by the classroom discussion. Hopefully, the mentee will realize that he or she needs to learn more classroom discussion management tools like the quiet signal and the numbers procedure, and the mentee hopes to utilize these techniques in the future, including other instructional methods like think, pair, share, and discussion ball, so that the mentee can become a more seasoned classroom teacher. The mentor then indicates, upon reflection in his generalizing or her generalizing, appreciates how the mentee actually wants to incorporate new classroom discussion techniques in his or her repertoire. Now, if you want a copy of this handout on the 4-step EIAG process, all you need to do is to go to my Facebook page, Richard Solomon's Facebook page, and you'll be able to get a copy of the handout. Now, we urge you to discuss the 4-step EIAG reflection process with members of your family, your friends, select group of teammates or workmates, so you understand how to go about using the EIAG when you're dealing with a supervisor, supervisee, or mentor-mentee process. Now, if you have any questions about this activity or about our series, you can write me at rdsolomonphd@gmail.com, or of course you can share your feedback on my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, or my X accounts. Now, in our next episode, we will describe a new 4th R relationship activity for groups of 2 or more entitled how to build consensus with a group of people, two or more, through using a different fourth R process called the APCA, the APCA process. As always, Jackie Saunders, my life partner, who's the editor of this broadcast, and I deeply appreciate you taking the time to watch our videos and you're sharing your feedback to our video series. We want to say we thank you and we look forward to being with you next time. Bye.